everybody. Wow, we're in September. What happened to August? Where did it go? I have some apologies. I realised this video is about a week later than it should be. So sorry. Had an incredibly tough August. Just swamped under, seriously. Swamped under at work, with my private life, everything. Just a crazy month. My son fractured the 5th metatarsal in his foot by falling down the stairs at his auntie's house. So he was on crutches for a few weeks and had to organise drop off and pick up from school for him. So normally he walks home. Just swamped under at work with lots of big orders that depleted my stock supply. And looking back on, as far as YouTube goes, I made 7 videos last month. So it's really no wonder that I'm as far behind as I am. I want to apologise for anyone that has not yet received a comment from me, whether it be Facebook, Instagram or YouTube. I'm really far behind, and you will get a response. I just apologise. I'm really trying hard to catch up. As far as watching other YouTube videos go, I'm so far behind on that, it's not funny. I think my only way to get through it is to watch the videos as they come out now and then try and work my way backwards. Otherwise I'm just going to get so far behind and never ever catch up, because there are so many of you now, which is great, but yeah, just trying to play catch up is difficult. And the other thing that happened recently is my husband had a knee operation on Monday because he fell off the ladder at work about 9 weeks ago, and he's one of these guys that just refuses to go see a doctor, but the pain was just so constant, and he finally gave in to my nagging and he went to see the doctor and they suggested surgery, and yes, he had torn a cartilage in his knee. So he's recovering, which has meant more duties for me at work because he's not allowed to do any heavy lifting, and there's a lot of heavy lifting in our workplace. So yeah, anyway, so sorry. Hope you all forgive me. I will catch up eventually. This video will probably be long, but I promise I will not bombard you with 7 videos this month. So hopefully it will just be this one and maybe 1 or 2 extra videos thrown in during the month. We'll see how we go for time. So in this video today, I'm going to show you some very generous RAKs that I have received over the last month. My normal finishes, FFOs and whips, and lots of notes regarding those. I was requested to show my project cards in more detail by Heidi, so I will do that. I also have some updated information on the Millennium frame that I mentioned a little while back, the other company that makes the identical version. So I know quite a few of you are waiting for that, so I have some updated information on that. The framing app and the cross-stitch journal app, I have some more information on those that might interest some Android users. I also have stash enhancement to show you and my plans for September. So got a lot to get through. So I think we shall just start and hope for the best. Now, I received a very lovely message from a friend on Facebook called Michelle Gunn, and she sent me a message saying that she had some Christmas card things that she would like to send me because she had no use for them, and she noticed how I am really enjoying making my cards, and that I had said that I want to make Christmas cards this year. So I reluctantly said yes, because I'm not good at receiving gifts from you guys. You're all so very lovely and generous, and it's not easy for me to accept gifts. So I received a parcel from Michelle, and she was very naughty because she didn't just put in the Christmas card stuff that she said. She put in some beautiful extras. So I'm going to show you what she gave me. And I apologise for the rustling, but there's so many little bits in here, so I want to keep it in the same bag. Okay. So first of all, she has sent me some gorgeous Christmas stickers. Sorry about the glare. So we've got gold and we've got silver. Oh, these are going to be fantastic for my Christmas cards. I am so excited. And then we have some festive ribbons and some lots of little embellishments. Some Christmas bells. And this pack is little reindeers and Santas and teddy bears, all in a Christmas theme. Little embellishments to put on my cards. There's a snowman in there as well. They're gorgeous, heaps of those. There's some mini bead packs in Christmas colours. Love it. And then there's some little trimmings. There's Christmas stockings and Christmas wreaths and candy canes and Christmas trees and snowflakes, all in there. Oh, seriously, everyone's going to get spoilt by me this Christmas. And some more little snowflakes, and these have a little blue bead in the middle. They're so pretty. I nearly fell over when I looked at all of these. Oh, Michelle, these are fantastic. And some little blue buttons. I'm trying to find some use for them. I love buttons. I have a button jar. I collect buttons. And then we have some Christmas stickers. This is awesome. This is just seriously fantastic. And then this is a free luxury card pack. And because Michelle said this all came with a magazine. So there's a whole heap of stickers on there. And some card, 2 sheets of card there to make some cards, and then some ready-made envelopes all ready for Christmas. So that is the Christmas stash that she was mentioning to send to me. And then she put in these extras. Oh, and I forgot to mention she put in a lovely postcard. Really love that. So cute. And a DMC kit. It's called, is it called Holiday Houses? So this is it here. She knows I love houses. I have so many house designs now. So many cottages. How gorgeous is that? Each one has the snow on top and just makes me want to go back to America so much. With all their snow. Love it. And that comes with the chart, which I'm not going to show you. And the fabric. And all the threads. That is fantastic. Love that. And it's a DMC kit, that one. And then she also put in this fantastic book called Cottages in Cross Stitch. I think you've been watching way too many of my videos, Michelle. You know me inside and out now. There's some really gorgeous little cottages in here. Look at this, this is a birth one. Just love it. Thank you so much, Michelle. So incredibly grateful for your generous gift. And they will definitely get used this year in my Christmas cards. And I cannot wait to get them started. So thank you. Mwah. Okay, next rack, as if one wasn't enough. I received a very generous rack from my friend Tina Healy, or Stay and Stitch on Instagram. And Tina went through my Heaven and Earth design wish list, which is quite extensive, and she found a design that I had in my wish list, obviously, and she purchased it for me. And she purchased butterfly woods. Isn't that beautiful? Now, look, we all love butterflies, we all say it, but I have a very special meaning behind the butterflies that I love, and it's just very close to my heart with my father. And he often talked about butterflies, and he sent me a butterfly brooch once from Queensland, and he has passed, and whenever I see butterflies, I think of him. So I will need to do this. I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, Tina, but I will. It's a very, very big design. This is, oh, I can't remember now. Doesn't say it on here. Well, it's 525 stitches wide by 733 high. So that's huge. And I can't remember, it was 20-something pages, which will be the biggest Heaven and Earth designs that I have ever done. But it's just so beautiful. Love it. Love those colours. Love everything about that. And thank you so much, Tina, from the bottom of my heart. That's, you know, to pick something that is so dear to me as well. That's just fantastic. Thank you. And a big kiss for you. Mwah. And then I have one more rack. And, you know, you guys, you're just so amazingly beautiful. All of you. I received a beautiful message from my friend Michelle Jackson, and Michelle was incredibly grateful for the tutorials that I have put up on YouTube, and she said that I had taught her so much and she wanted to give something back to me, because everything that I taught her, she felt she would have to have paid someone to teach her, which, you know, if I lived in England, you certainly would not have to do that, Michelle. I'd be coming around to your house and giving you insight into what I know. For free, absolutely. But anyway, Michelle sent me a beautiful package. Everything was wrapped up so beautifully in this lovely bag, and I seriously nearly fell off my chair when I opened this. Everything inside the package has been put in lovely individual bags, all different colours, just so beautiful. And she has sent me a whole heap of hand-dyed silk threads from a company called Haviland Embroidery. I hope I've said that right. Michelle told me that she discovered this lady a couple of years ago, and she's an Australian who now lives in England, and her name is Grace. And if you are watching, hello Grace, I'd also like to thank you. This silk thread, and I'm not an expert with silk threads, Mrs. Milky Bar Kid gets that title as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure she will, I don't know if she's used this, I don't know, but I thought Karen Water Lilies was absolutely stunning. This is drop dead gorgeous. This is absolutely amazing thread. Michelle mentioned that they're 200 meters in length. That she thinks that's the case. And Grace at the moment does not sell these internationally. And Grace, if you're watching again, I'd really like you to reconsider, because this stuff's too good to not be shared around the entire world. And if you still have issues about sending to Australia, please just send them to me. I will order them from you. Please, I'm begging you. All right, I'm going to show you all these colours. Have a look at that gorgeousness. The greens and the purples. And this is true to life. Now, I don't know what these colours are. And that is the only thing I would say to Grace, is that it would be really handy if you put the colours on here. So people, I know there might be some people after watching this that will go, oh, what's that colour called? I don't know. I'm really sorry. I don't know. And I'm sure she has so many in her range. So that would be really helpful to know what colours they are. But, you know, and I've been looking at them thinking, which one's my favourite? I don't know. They're all so beautiful. Absolutely divine. Look at that. Look at the colours. Oh, this is just... Michelle, you are so lucky to have access to this gorgeous, gorgeous thread. And the fact that you thought of me and sent these to me, I'm blown away and very emotional. Look at the pinks and the blues. And these are all coming up true to life, guys. So what you see is what you get. Just the texture is stunning. So we've got 3 so far. I'm still going. Still going. One of these would have been plenty. There you go. This one has got very light autumn shades, very light orangey coral orange, to a light tan, up to a khaki and a pink. Just stunning. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun trying to decide what to stitch these on. It's just unbelievable. And this one's pinks and purples. This one's a little bit lighter than it's showing up. Showing up a little bit darker. Just beautiful. Oh, I told Michelle that I was going to, oh, that's it, that I was going to give them their own box because they're just so special, so beautiful. And I know a lot of you are interested in silk threads, so I highly recommend you check that out. As I said, made in London, de Haviland Embroidery, I'll put it down below. Silky embroidery thread, individually hand-dyed. And there's a telephone number on there. So the beautiful Michelle sent me, oops, 4, 5 of the most beautiful silks that I have ever seen in all my life. And in fact, you know what? They're almost too good to use them. I just, you know how you all said you like your Mo's threads and you want to use them as a pillow? That's how I feel about these. Just stunning. And then if that wasn't enough, I had happened to mention to Michelle, we were talking about magnets, and she said she bought her magnets from Amazon, and I looked it up, and Amazon will ship the very occasional thing to Australia. I think it's only if the seller on Amazon is based in the UK, but if the seller is based in America, they won't ship to Australia, so we miss out on most things on Amazon. And I had happened to mention that I couldn't get the magnets sent to me. So she sent me a whole stack of magnets for me to use, which is fantastic because I have some. I went and bought some things the other day that I want to turn into needle minders. And then she sent me this beautiful butterfly needle minder. How beautiful is that? All you purple lovers out there. And that is just stunning. And I believe that is from Cirrus Creations, handcrafted cross-stitch accessories. Says it up at the top there if you can see that. Just beautiful. Thank you so much, Michelle. And look, just thank you. Just not seeing the right words to say. Just blown away by the generosity of strangers. It's amazes me, really amazes me. Try not to get emotional. I said I'd probably tear up, and I have teared up, so I apologise. I am a sook, and yeah, find it very hard to not get upset when I see people doing lovely things. So thank you, Michelle Jackson, for your beautiful, beautiful gift. Thank you again, Tina Healy, for your beautiful, beautiful gift, and also to Michelle Gunn for your beautiful, beautiful gift. Thank you all so much. Mwah, from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so let's go through the fun stuff. This is stuff you all come here to see each month. The whips, finishes, and FFOs in completely wrong order. I'm going to do the FFOs first. I had 4 FFOs this month, 2 new starts, 2 finished objects, one of which is an FFO, and 7 videos. Nuts. That's crazy. I'm not doing 7 videos a month again. Okay, Finish object number 1, I actually did show you last month because I couldn't hold off. I did that video a little bit late as well. That was my July cottage. I actually finished that on the 1st of August, so you've already seen that one. Finish number 2 is a card I made for a lovely lady. This is called Thinking of You, and it's by Joan Elliott, and it's already been sent and it's been received, so I'm going to show it now. Those of you that have watched my card tutorial, you've already seen this card because it's pictured in there, but I'm going to include a picture of it here now. So this was a nice, quick, fun design to stitch. Love the little violets that were in this card, and hopefully the lady that received that enjoyed it as much as I did stitching it. My third finish for the month, my third fully finished object for the month is August Cottage. So obviously I finished this saying this month, we're in September. I finished this in August, fully finished it in August as well. Turned it into another cube. Of course I did, you know, I'm going to do this with all of them. But yeah, really love the beach theme on this month. This one, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit quicker to finish for me than the others. Not sure why that is. It's not really any less elements than the rest of them have. Love the little seashells and the seagulls there, and the waves and the dock. Very pretty. I had a lot of trouble finding the right summary design that I wanted for this. I wanted something beach themed, but it's winter here. Well, it was in August. It was still winter here in Australia. So of course there wasn't really anything suitable in my fabric shops. So I then focused on matching colours. So I found a lovely blue. It's a nice design through it. If you can see, matches the beach, the waves perfectly, and then a lovely coral which I turned into a ribbon like I did with the previous month. I like that idea now more so than actually finishing it with a ribbon. I like finishing it with the fabric. So picked out the coral from the flowers and the seashells, and actually September's house that I'm stitching looks a very similar colour, so I might get to reuse that colour again. So yes, that was that one. Oh, so many interruptions today. Okay, so my last fully finished object for August was something that has been sitting in my craft cupboard for nearly a year. I finished this at the end of 2014, and I really wanted to turn it into a wall hanging. I did know exactly how I wanted to finish it. And it's something that I want to actually put up on the wall each year, and it's my Magical Creatures calendar from Clouds Factory, and I have to hold it back here so you can see properly. There we go. Oh, it's pretty big. So this one I actually used the framing app that I recently did a video tutorial on, Frame Builder. I did mention in that tutorial that it's not just for framing, but you can use it to get colour ideas for your cross stitches. I've got some fluff on here. So I did that with this, and I played around with colours, and I knew I wanted to use a similar colour here in the border, and I did that, and I looked at it on the app and thought it looks a little bit boring. So then I tried it with a trim on the inside, and I find the orange just makes it pop. Brings out all the orange from the design, and I love it. So how I did this, I have a wall hanging tutorial app. I just used the exact same process. What I did was I did the orange first all the way around, completely added all that first, and then I went and added on, this is a dark periwinkle blue. It is actually not the same colour as this, which is good because I looked at the same colour and it didn't make it pop. It just, I don't know, it just seemed to wash it out a bit more. So I got a slightly darker tone of that colour. Really happy with how that turned out. So yeah, it sort of gives a framed look, doesn't it? Like it's got a double mat board. But I just really loved how that how that turned out. And there's the back, it's all just plain dark periwinkle blue. That's what I'm calling it anyway, and it's like a drill fabric. So yeah, very, very happy with how that turned out. Very easy, and that Frame Builder app just made it so much easier choosing colours, because I just went to the fabric store and I knew what colours to look for, found them there on the roll, took them up to the counter, got them cut, came home and made it. Easy. Okay, so that's my FFOs. My finished objects for the month, the first one was August Cottage, which you've seen. Second one is, oh, I love this. This is Motherly Devotion by Jayne, Netley, Mayhew. All finished. Look. I can hold it back here so you can see it better. Oh, how beautiful is it? Show you a close-up. Let's make sure you can see it all. Now, if you've ever found a more realistic giraffe pattern than this, I want to know, because no, it's just not possible. Jayne, you are a genius. That is stunning. Now, I did mention before, in case you haven't heard, this is important to me because my daughter and I had a one-on-one experience at our local zoo, and we got to meet the giraffes and pat them and feed them and learn all about them, and it was wonderful. We loved it. We had the time of our lives, and I was looking for a design to hold that memory dear, and everything was really cutesy, and I wanted something lifelike. I wanted something that looked like a photograph, hence why I chose the fabric. This is 28 count Lugana called Clouds from Colour Cascades Fabrics. It's stitched 2/2, and there are French knots for the eyes and only a teensy bit of back stitching to highlight the eye, just nothing at all really. Lots and lots of confetti, which is perfect for the detail. Look, you can see why there's so much confetti. It's just stunning. The other reason, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the other reason why the giraffe design was so important was about 2 days before my daughter was born, a baby giraffe was born at our zoo where we had our experience, and it made the front page of the paper. It might have even been the day before. I do have it written down. See, scatterbrain, I can't remember these things. I have the newspaper clipping, and it was a little boy that was born, and on my daughter's first birthday we had a party, and we went back to the zoo, and we went back to visit the baby giraffe and to say happy birthday to him too. He's now moved on to the other zoo in Adelaide, which is at Monarto, so we'll need to take a drive up there, which is a bit further, but go and visit him there. But yeah, so that's why I chose the mother and the baby, for 2 reasons. So I love this. I'm going to frame it. I've started having a look at framing colours, and I'm a little bit stumped. It's a bit tricky, so I need to really find the perfect colours to go for that. I might not even put a matte board at all, because it might not need it. I might just pick a beautiful frame and see how that goes. So I love that design. That was so much fun to stitch. Yeah, it's fantastic. All right, so my whips. Now, whip number 1, you're going to see August progress and most of September's progress, because I'm currently working on this. So I'm really sorry. I try to do things so that it conforms to the end of the month, but it just hasn't worked this month. Anyway, this is my Celtic Autumn, and cross my stitch, Susan. You mentioned in your video whether it's Celtic or Celtic. It's Celtic. And I know, because my first reaction is to always say Celtic. I don't know why that is, but yeah, it's Celtic. Celtic Autumn by Lavender and Lace. And she's another biggie. So for the month of August, I've finished all the normal stitching. All the stitching of the DMC was finished. And then I started work on the Petite Treasure Braid. which is mainly all down the bottom of her dress. And I have been working on that the last few nights as well. I have some more work to do tonight and then Sunday night. Oh, my hair's really annoying me. I was really hoping to get this finished this week. Not with the month I've had, no. There's a lot of beading. So maybe next month. Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. Because I really need to start on my Christmas stocking that I said I would do when I finish this. So, Petite Treasure braid. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. My God, the best thing ever. This is what it looks like if you've never seen it before. This is PB01 that I'm using. And my only complaint with it, because it's been wound on a card, you can see there, hopefully you can see there, you see where it's been wound around the card, so you have definite kinks. That can tend to kink up on the project. That's my only complaint. It is not scratchy to stitch with. As you pull it through the holes, it doesn't make that awful ripping sound that Krennic makes. You know what I mean? That it's a really rough sound as you hear it coming up through the fabric, and Krennic splits, and you know, it does all that sort of nasty stuff. And I know a lot of you use Thread Heaven. I've never used Thread Heaven. Maybe one day I'll try it, but I've never really felt the need to buy it. But this stuff is so smooth. It's almost ribbon-like. That's not focusing. It's focusing on me. Anyway, I am converted from Krennic to Petite Treasure braid, and I am even considering removing all the Krennic. No, I'm not using Krennic. All the DMC light metallics from my Save the Stitches and swapping it for this. Considering. I'm not even sure I can get the same colours. I might look into it. This is gorgeous to stitch with. Really, really is. And the only, I think you could probably avoid the kinks by winding it onto a spool first. So I think that is a definite possibility. So yes, that is Celtic Autumn. So when you next see her, there probably won't be much progress from here because it will only be 2 more nights of stitching. But tonight I hope to finish, well, tonight and tomorrow night, I hope to finish the rest of her dress there. And then there's some more along the border here, some more along the border here, and is there some in the lettering? I can't remember. Might just be beads in the lettering, but there's more up here somewhere as well. So, and I'm already on the 3rd card. The note suggested to buy 4 cards. I really hope I have enough. That would be devastating to run out. I've been using 2 strands. I was unsure because the instructions didn't say how many strands to use, but I figured I'd use the same as the amount of strands of DMC cotton I'm using, and I'm really happy with it. I think if you were to use 1 strand of the PTB, it would still look fine. But I like bling, so 2 strands it was for me. Whip number 2 is my Save the Stitches. Now you all know that I'm really not feeling it for this one, and this month has been no different. So this is it here. Oh, here we go. I'll do a scroll up. I love the colours. I really love the piece. It just doesn't love me back. Really, it's deciding that it's going to give me a hard time. So for the month of August, I finished block 16, which is all the motifs across the middle there, the big ones. And then block 17, which is these 4. And I'm not happy with this block because it's not meant to look like that. So I don't know. I need to put some more thought into these before I start stitching them. Because unpicking them and redoing them, it's time consuming. It's pain. And I was watching Dee Stitch's pictures on Facebook, I think it was, and hers look how it's meant to look, and mine doesn't. And that annoys me. So anyway. And as I said, I'm seriously considering swapping out the light effects, DMC light effects, which is what I've used in this, for the Petite Treasure braid. But we'll see. I might decide that no, it's already given me too many headaches. Why add more? We shall see. And I still have beading yet to go on this one. That will be done once the whole thing is finished. Sorry, I'm not going to bead as I go. I don't do that. So that's that one. My least favourite at the moment, which is sad. Hopefully I'll feel the love again for it soon. But I'm still stitching it. So that's the important thing. Whip number 3, Heaven and Earth Design, Mini Bath Time. And here is how she looked last time you saw her. Oops. And this is where we are now. She has a face. Look at her pretty face. You know, I was really shocked. I was so excited to get to her face that I actually, as you can see here, instead of working down the column, I actually decided, no, I need to stitch that face. So I worked across some extra stitches. And sadly, I didn't get to her nose and mouth before the end of the rotation finished, which would have been nice, but that's okay. I got something to really look forward to this month. I was just shocked. This is a mini design. It's not a regular Heaven and Earth design, and I did not expect the detail to be there. When I first started stitching this, you would have noticed that I mentioned her hand here. I wasn't entirely happy with the detail, so when I got to her face, I was expecting a bit of a blurry blob, to be honest. This is incredible. I mentioned on Instagram that the block where her eye is, there was something like, I can't remember now, 25 or something colours in that one block. That's confetti. Yeah, there she's really close. So I'm even more excited about this now. It's just really given me a real drive to work on this. Look at her hair. It's just fantastic. That, you know, just like I said with Jayne's designs, the confetti is so important when there's no back stitching. It's the only way you're going to get that detail is with that confetti. So I know we all complain and whinge about the confetti, but when you get results like this, it really is a necessary evil. So this month, I hope to get more of that face done. See her lips and the rest of her hair. It's going to be beautiful. So I think it's always nice to get to the point in a design that excites us the most, especially with Heaven and Earth designs. We'll start working most of us start work in the corner, and then we know that, oh, once I get to that bit, I'm going to be really happy. So yeah, it's a great feeling when we get to that point. 3 new starts I have this month. Technically 2, because one is for 1st of September, which has just gone, but I should be showing that in my next video. Doesn't matter. Anyway, this one is called Gilligan's Island, and it's by Amazing Cross Stitch on Etsy. And Diane, Mondot Stitches, introduced this company to us, and they do a whole series of characters like these, you know, TV characters and rock bands and cartoon characters, all sorts of things. There's something in there to suit everybody. So I started this one in the hope of making it a Father's Day present for my husband. And Father's Day is tomorrow. He's not going to get finished. That just goes to show how crazy my month is, because normally I'm quite on track with finishing things when I want them to be finished. So I'm disappointed by that. But I said to him, he's either going to get it late or it's going to be a birthday present. So at this stage, I'm not going to pressure myself, and I'm just going to probably say it'll be a birthday present. And his birthday is in December, so I've got plenty of time. There are 7 characters on here. So we've got Ginger in her hot little white bikini and heels, Gilligan, Marianne in her yellow bikini and black heels, the Professor, and I'm working on Skipper. And next we have what are their names? Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Howe. I had to sing the song in my head. Yeah. This is stitched on 28 count mushroom even weave by MCG Textiles. I had this in my stash. I bought this because I couldn't understand why this was so much cheaper than Lugana. A big piece only cost me like $3 or something crazy. And I was like, And when it arrived, I did notice it did look a little bit different. And it is. It's not as nice as Lugana, but it's still equally good. And it's perfect for these types of designs. I don't need to stitch it on anything overly expensive. I just think that the weave just seems a little bit closer together than on a Lugana, which is great because there's less chance for any fabric to show through on my stitches. And stitching this has been my first time using Anchor Black, and I love it. It is thicker. I've heard people mention that it's thicker than thicker than DMC, and it is. The writing down the bottom has been done with 1 strand. It's not focusing. Is that focused? I'm really wrapped with it. So I have quite a bit of Anchor Black now, so I'll be swapping out all my DMC for Anchor Black on all my future projects. Yeah, really happy with the coverage for that. Do I have anything else to tell you about this one? Oh, yes, I do. Yes. One thing I wasn't happy with, the colours that were charted for this design. If any of you follow me on Instagram, I did make mention of it, but the colours that they charted for the skin, as you can see, you've got your basic skin shade, and then you've got your darker skin shade. And the colours that they charted, once I stitched them, there was no difference between them. So there was no shadowing effect. And the same happened with the white and the grey. The grey in Gilligan's hat and also grey around the shirt. You couldn't see it. It just looked like a white hat. And the skin just looked like one colour. And of course the lips, you couldn't see the lips. Now, in all fairness, at the beginning of the chart, it did say that there could be issues with the skin colours, and they offered recommendations, which I was grateful for. I did read it before I stitched, and they did recommend doing some test stitching on the colours, and I thought, nah, I don't need to do that. It'll be fine. I stitched it, and of course it wasn't fine. So I had to swap out the colours. So that's a bit disappointing. It's a bit disappointing that that wasn't done right, but there was no mention of the grey. So now I'm wondering, with the rest of their designs, are there going to be any future colour issues? Because even with Marianne's bikinis, there's 2 shades of the yellow, and yeah, it's not too bad there. So it's sort of a little bit off-putting, because I don't want to have to fix colours. It should be charted right to begin with. So I was a little bit upset by that, and I suppose that sort of didn't help my progress, because I had to do a lot of unpicking and restitching the correct colours. So if anyone decides to start an amazing cross stitch, I do warn you of that. Just really check your colours first before you stitch them. But all in all, it's a lot of fun to stitch that little design. And I'll show this now because it is past the 1st of September. I may show it again in my next video. Anyway, you can fast forward. This is Country Cottage Needleworks. This is my Cottage of the Month series, and this is September. And it's a schoolhouse, I believe, with a school bell at the top, and it's 3-story. Very pretty, and that's all I have done. So this is some random thread. This is 1 hour stitching one night, and then I got some done at the hairdresser the other night. That's all I've had time for. So generally with my Cottage of the Month series, when I finish my 2 blocks of my Save the Stitches, then I pull this out and stitch this for the rest of the week. And then what's left, I try and catch up during the week. And it just hasn't been much catch up time during the week for me lately. As I said, it's been a really crazy last few weeks, and I really need things to slow down in a personal way, because I'm going to burn myself out. I can already feel it happening, and I don't want that to happen. So I need to take a deep breath and take things a little bit more slowly and know my limits. That's the key. And Tara C, you mentioned in your video about planning, that you're a planner. I too am a planner, and I totally understand what you mean as far as planning too much, trying to cram so much in, and then not being happy about what you've planned. And yeah, I get it. I'm right there with you. So I need to really check the goals that I'm setting aren't too high, and allow myself plenty of time to get things done. Now, I received a request from Heidi Cran. I think that's how you say your last name, Heidi. I apologise if I hacked that. Heidi wanted to show in a little bit more detail how I do my project cards. So I'm going to show that to you right now. First of all, I just use an index card system. As much as I like my electronic way of recording things, I am also a paper person. And I think that comes from just not completely trusting electronics, because I know things can go wrong and you can instantly lose everything that you've put out there into the electronic world. So for me, I also like to do a paper version, and this is it. This is the perfect size to sit inside my folders, which I will show another day. I'll show you how I kit up a project and store my floss and all that. I am aware that that's a video that I have been requested to do. So I start with an index card, and I write along the very top the name of the project and who the designer is. And then I have a start date, a finish date, and then once I have fully finished it, I then put in the date and what I actually finished it as. Then I have my stitch count for the design, the fabric that I used, the design size, and then the stitch count. And then down the bottom I just have a little mention for anything important, like for this, my biscornu was a present for my mum. Then on the back is where I make any notes for the project. So in this particular case, it was my first biscornu, my first specialty stitches, and the first time using Threadworks over dyed floss. And then in the bottom left corner, I make a mention of the FFO number for the year, which you'll notice I made a mistake and had to fix that up, and also as well as the finished object number. So for me, this is just a really good reference tool. I keep all my project cards together, have a big stash of them for this year already. I keep them in order of when they were finished as opposed to fully finished, because I'm working through my pile of finishes, and you know, I have a lot of finishes from previous years that have just been rolled up and put away, which is such a shame. So it is my aim to eventually get them all fully finished. Yeah, and as I said, I also keep a journal of everything here on my cross stitch journal app. What else can I say about this? if there's anything I changed with the design, I keep a note of it here. I often get lots of questions regarding how much I used a certain color, or if I changed a color. So, you know, I'm really bad at remembering things. I have to keep notes for everything. When I go to the shop, I have to take a list with me. So this is just really handy for me. If there's something that just doesn't come to me straight away when someone asks me a question, I refer to either this or my cross-stitch journal app, and then I can answer the questions. So I hope that helps, Heidi. I did plan on, I was going to attach a photo to these. I haven't got around into looking at that yet. I still want to do something like that, but my plan was to attach a photo of the design image as I found it, so like how it was in the magazine, and then my finished photo. But obviously I don't want something big. I just was going to put something small on the back comparing the two. I might still do that. Maybe that might be a new project card update for next year. We'll see. At the moment I have too many other things that I'm looking into doing, and I really need to prioritize what's important for me. And at the moment this works and I'm happy with it. And should I update it, it's very easy just to add a photo to everything, because I take photos of all my work now. So yes, I hope that helped you, Heidi, and I thank you very much for your request. Now, I know some of you are eagerly awaiting an update on the Millennium frame that I mentioned in a couple of videos ago, the company that my Needleworks store said that makes an identical frame. I went into the Needleworks store the other day, and they have actually put 3 frames on order. They are going to wait till they arrive, which shouldn't be too long. It's quite a quick turnaround, I believe. It is from a big company that they deal with often, and they said their customer service is fantastic. Should they ever have an issue with an item, the company's quite happy to accept returns and things like that. So that's really good, because we all know customer service from the other company in question it's sad, but it is seriously lacking, and customer service is incredibly important. And I don't like to recommend companies unless I know that they're going to look after people that I recommend. The lady in the store showed me a photograph of the image that was sent to her for the frame that she ordered, and I can't spot the difference. It looks exactly the same as the frame. Now we're just talking the frame here, not the stand. I don't know, I did forget to ask, I don't know if the company makes the stand. I would say probably not. I think they just make the frame. And they do only make the frame in 3 sizes. Again, I should have written that down, but I was having a busy day. I do know that the largest size bars that they make is 29 inch, which is a bit of a shame, because with Millennium it is 36 inch, and I personally do own the 36 inch and it's fantastic. But you know, you can't expect all companies to be exactly the same. So we're going to, at this point in time, wait until the company receives their products. They're going to work out what their import costs are and their markup and all that sort of stuff, and they're going to let me know as soon as they arrive. So the next video you will receive from me will be an update on that with pricing and everything else that you need to know. But fingers crossed, guys, it's coming. It's on its way. Very excited. Can't wait to see it, and it should be interesting for any of you that are looking at purchasing that frame for the future. Now, next update is the framing app that I recently did a video tutorial on. That was called Frame Builder. I sent the makers of the app a message because I had a few requests about Android, and a few upset people, obviously, because it is a fantastic app. And it's such a shame that it's only available to iPhone and iPad at this stage. But anyway, I sent them a message and just asked whether they would be looking into doing an Android version in the future, and I got a lovely reply. from a lady. They're in France. The makers of the app are in France, and apparently it took 3 years to make that app. So that's, I have a lot of what's the word? A lot of appreciation for companies that stick through it for 3 years to put up an app for us. That's awesome. Anyway, they said that they will consider it for the future. Not sure if they will have time to do it, but they will consider it. So all I can say is, all you Android users, if you really want this app, maybe send them a message. Hopefully if they get enough requests, they might really look into it. They did say it's a completely different process for making an Android app. So it's not just a matter of making the iPhone app and then turning it into Android. Apparently it's a whole completely different process. So maybe another 3 years. I don't know. But I was very appreciative of them returning my message, and they also mentioned that they watched my video and they really liked it, and they wanted to put a link to my video on their website, which was, I was very humbled by that, so that's lovely. So that's the update on that one. Okay, and the other update information I have is for Cross Stitch Journal app. You'll know how much I love that app. I've got a tutorial video on that if any of you are interested in seeing. Well, the good news is I sent Jeff a message asking him about the Android version that he mentioned was in the planning, and I also asked him about whether he could possibly add Mill Hill beads to the inventory list. So exciting news. Android version, he hopes, will be ready later this month, so that's fantastic for all you Android users. I really hope you get on board with this app because it is fantastic. There's going to be some new features in it, including a new search function, which is fantastic. He mentioned the Mill Hill beads. That is high on his priority, but there's no firm time on that yet, so he is looking into it. Once the Android version is done, he will then be releasing a version 2 for both the iPad and the Android, and there will be some new features as well, so really looking forward to that. So yeah, that's the update on the Cross Stitch Journal app. As I said, I hope you all look into that. I can't remember the price. I'll link it down below once I edit this video, and put a link to purchase that fantastic app. Highly recommend that, probably more than any other app that I use. So yeah, that's it for the update info this month. Okay, so let's talk stash. This is the fun stuff. We love this stuff, don't we? Okay, just can't stop buying. I don't know. I tried. Probably didn't try very hard this month. Purchased quite a few things from various places. Got a few things from eBay that I plan to use in future giveaways. I will have my Flosstube. How did you say that, Claire? Flosstubeversary? My 1 year anniversary of making Flosstube videos. That will be coming up in October, which is also my birthday, so great opportunity to give you guys something. And yeah, so I've been purchasing a few things for that I think some of you might like. Gonna do something a little bit different as far as the next giveaway goes. So, sorry about the rustling. Stash. I got my fabric of the month from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, and this is for the month of, so I haven't got August yet, so this must be July. And this is called Seahorse Shores, and it's 32 count linen. And that's it there. It's beautiful. Love it. All the greens and aqua. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Really loving it. Making it hard now though with the Aussie dollar, I have to say. Just, you know, it's dropped below 70 cents US now. And now Australia have decided that in 2017, I believe, they're going to add a 10% GST on all overseas purchases. GST, for those of you who don't know, stands for Goods and Services Tax, which we pay on most things here in Australia anyway, but anything that we purchased online from overseas was exempt. Oh, the Australian government have decided that, no, we're going to tax you on that too. And look, I understand the reasoning behind it. They want to promote Australian businesses. They want people to buy local. But if Australian businesses, some of them, if they weren't so greedy and marked their prices up so much, then we wouldn't be searching online. As an example, the Halloween book, the Just Cross Stitch Halloween book that the lovely Christine, aka Calico, did a video tutorial on, $9.99 from 123 Stitch. I priced it yesterday in my newsagent for $28 Australian. That's nearly 3 times more. It's no wonder we buy overseas. Really, markups here are ridiculous. Anyway, rant over. Okay, so I purchased this magazine, which is an old Just Cross Stitch magazine, February 1992. This lovely lady didn't just show the front cover, and this is a hint to all of you that want to sell magazines on Facebook, eBay, Quick Sales, which is where I got this from, Quick Sales. Show some of the designs on the insides, guys. That's what will sell your magazine. Had I just seen this cover, wouldn't have bought it. I bought it for this. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Okay, this is called, what's it called? I have to look up the name. That wasn't very good, was it? As Letitia says, talk amongst yourselves for a moment. It's called Cross Stitch. Okay, I'll read it to you. Cross Stitch. With needle as brush and a palette of floss, I become an artist as I paint with a cross. It's beautiful. You know I love my cross stitch poems. You all loved the last one. Well, this is, oops, sorry. This is another one. Love it, love it, love it. So I bought the magazine for that. Had this lovely lady not shown what was inside this magazine, I would never have known. On the very next page, I just have to show you while I'm here. How cute is that? That's really pretty. Love that. It's called Gathering Flowers. By the way, I don't think I know who the designer is of that cross stitch. It doesn't say. That's a bit sad, isn't it? I always like to mention who the designer is of these charts. Okay, and I really liked this in here. This is called Words for Success. Let's see if the designer's name's written in here. Chart begins on page 36. Oh, okay. I just found where the designer's written. That's a funny way of doing it. They've grouped all the designers together on one page with the designs. So Cross Stitch was designed by Rita Mears, and Gathering Flowers that I just showed was Linda Jarry, and this one, Words for Success, is by Cheryl Pittman. I really like that. Now, I can't read backwards. Coming together is a beginning, working together is progress, keeping together is success. And I actually liked that one for work. I think I might do that one and hang up at our workplace because we don't have any cross stitches there yet. Because there's not enough hours in the day for me to cross stitch everywhere that I want a cross stitch. Anyway, so just wanted to share that one with you in case any of you might be interested. You probably all know I love lavender and lace designs, and there have been 2 on my wish list for quite some time, and luckily I found them on eBay. The first one is called The Spirit of Christmas, and I'm sorry about the glare, but I just don't want to take him out the packet yet. And it's Santa surrounded by a beautiful wreath. Love that. Beautiful design. Love my Christmas stuff. And this one, I have wanted to do this one for a very long time. Back when I had a Needleworks store, that goes to show how long it's been, They actually had this design stitched up and framed in the store, and every time I walked in, I would just drool over it because it was just so beautiful. Not that it doesn't look beautiful here, but it's just one of those things, just like Mirabilias, they look so much more beautiful when they're stitched. And this is called Oh Christmas Tree. And I showed it to my daughter and I said, it reminds me of you and Ryan. And she said, oh, if you say so. And I said, well, I'm going to change your hair colour. And then it will look like you and your brother. So I love that. So happy to have that in my stash. Then next, a lovely seller on Gumtree was selling a whole heap of charts. And this particular chart I used to own years ago. And I stitched this design and just didn't do anything with it. And I had a family member on my husband's side ask, well, they wanted to buy something of mine. And they actually wanted to buy the house that I stitched for my dad. I said, no, 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 no. That will never, ever be for sale. Offer me $1 million, I wouldn't take it. So they bought this one off me. And then I didn't see the reason for hanging on to the chart. So I think I sold the chart on eBay. So it's a long time ago. I always regretted selling this chart. So when I saw it up for sale, I snapped it up. It's called Tropical Fishtails. And it is this design that I stitched. I stitched it on the black and it was gorgeous. The colours in it are so vibrant. And now that I have hand-dyed fabrics, I would love to see, I'm going to do a floss toss of that on some of the blues and the aquas that I have in my stash. So that actually represents the ocean a little bit better. But really happy to have this one back. I'm going to be a lot more careful in future getting rid of my charts because I know I don't stitch things twice, but that was such a long time ago and it was quite a quick stitch really. So yeah, really like that one. This one, another great buy. I think it was from Gumtree. Have always wanted an Australia map. You guys know how much I love stitching American stuff. It's time to start bringing some Aussie stuff into my life. This one is by Heritage Stitchcraft and it's World Stitches. And this company does maps of all around the world, I believe. And this one is of Australia. Land that I love, expensive as it is. There are quite a few Australian maps out there to stitch. The reason why I love this one in particular is that little place there, Cuba Pedy, which is where my mum lives. Out in the outback, opal capital of the world. That's where they live. You don't see that on Australian maps very much at all. And I didn't want to have to try and chart it in. So this has got a lot of places on here. They've pretty much covered it. And then all the Aussie icons around the edge. Great kit. Comes with fabric, 27 count too, I believe. Which is awesome. All the threads. So happy to have this one. This is still available to purchase too. It's not unavailable, but it does vary in price. So I suggest you do some Googling for that if anyone's interested. Next I have 4 books that I've purchased. I've been really naughty. Got some more stuff coming. This one, along with the Australian theme, Emblems of Australia in cross stitch. I've hired it from my library a couple of times and thought it was high time that I had this in my stash. Have to support Australia, don't I? Some great designs on here. I'll show you a couple, but with any of these books that I show, if anyone wants an actual tutorial, a video tutorial done, sorry, not tutorial, a video review done on any of these, please let me know. I'll be happy to do that for you. So this is the design. There's 2 designs in here I particularly liked. This one is all the Australian flags, including the naval flags. Really like that. Not something you see every day. My husband was quite interested when I showed him that one as well. The other one I liked is all the state badges. Whoopsie, sorry. And this one's mine, South Australia, with the magpie. Love that. That'd be quick. Really, really quick to stitch. There's also ones in here for the National Anthem. Advanced Australia Fair. Oops. So that's the full design. And then the extra words each have their own chart. So really, really nice book. As I said, if you want to see that in more detail, let me know. Next book, Cross Stitch Jungle. Most of you have seen my video review. I have to say that I was incredibly humbled yesterday by receiving a personal message from Jayne Netley Mayhew herself. If you are watching, Jayne, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't care if your head swells, your head deserves to swell. You are an awesome lady. You design the most beautiful things. Look, I'm tearing up again. I'm shocking. I just could not believe Jayne sent me a message thanking me for my video review of her book, and that she'd also been keeping track of my progress on her giraffes, the motherly devotion design that I've been stitching. We had a lovely chat, and just an awesome lady. She really, really is. I was more than happy to promote Jayne's work, as I will continue to do, because as far as I'm concerned, her animal designs are the best I have ever seen, the most lifelike, and they're not hard to stitch. Yes, I've complained about the confetti, and Jayne apologised, and I told her don't apologise. It is essential to get the detail that she gets from her artistry. I have finished giraffes, and it's just mind-blowing. It really is, for designs that have very little or no back stitching, to create that depth of colour that she gets. Seriously awesome. So again, thank you so much, Jayne. You made me a very, very happy lady, and I look forward to stitching many of these designs. I know you agreed. I'm going to be a very busy lady, but they're just so beautiful. So if you have not seen my video review on this particular book, I will link it down below, so please check that out. Okay, next book that I purchased was Joan Elliott's Oriental Odyssey. Now, I mentioned on Instagram that I was going to do a video review of this book also, and I started doing it, and I realised that there were pages missing from the book. Who does that? I understand ripping pages out of a magazine, but don't rip pages out of a book. No! Sacrilege. This book was purchased secondhand on eBay. As you can see, look. Someone's had a sticker on there, and they've had stickers on there. I was willing to overlook that. I didn't care, because all the pages inside hadn't been written on. They were beautiful. And it wasn't until I got to, I shall show you, hang on. This page, page 46, Oriental Lady Grace. And the very next page is not Oriental Lady Grace, because it's page 53. Yes, if you look closely, somebody has torn out 3 pages from this book. I love the Oriental ladies in this book. Anyway, good news is I contacted the company. Very, very professional. I had to send in photographs and all that sort of stuff, and they are sending me a replacement. Yay! So when I receive that, I will do my video review of that book, because beautiful designs. Beautiful, beautiful. Joan and Jayne, my 2 favourite ladies. Love them to death. Speaking of Joan again, another book purchased. Cross Stitch, Wit and Wisdom. Really funky, fun designs. There you go, there's the back. Again, if you would like a video review of this book, just mention it down below. I'd be more than happy to do that. Jayne mentioned in her comment to me that she thinks it's great that we are doing reviews of designers' books, and it's great to get the word out there, and I agree. I think we need to support our designers. We need to show people what's inside these books, because it's not just what's on the front cover. There's very little information out there on the internet about what's included in the book. And I know from the comments I've received on video reviews that I've done, now people want to buy the book because they've seen exactly what's inside. And for me personally, it's not just one design that will make me purchase a book, but generally 2 or 3, and then I will decide, yes, okay, that's worth it. I'm going to buy that. So, yes, that's it. That's it for my stash acquisitions this month, I think. Every video I do, I make notes. I get a big pile of stuff out next to me. I try and keep everything to one side, knowing that I have to show that in my next video. I don't actually put anything away until, it's got a section in my cupboard, but I don't put anything away in its proper place until my videos are done. But yet, every time I go to upload a video, I realise, oh, I forgot to say that, or I forgot to show that. So, scatterbrain. That's what I should be known as, scatterbrain Carolyn. Okay, so that's it for my stash this month. Okay, so my plans for September. September, I'm going to be working on all my whips. I have a spare spot in my rotation now because I finished Motherly Devotion, which is my whip number 4. So my plan was to start 'Twas the Night. Before I start that, I may need to catch up on a couple of my smaller whips, like Gilligan's Island and my September Cottage, depending on how the rest of the month goes. But I do hope to make a start on that, at least get a few stitches in. I was hoping to finish my Celtic Autumn in September. That's not going to happen unless there's a miracle and I can get the beading done in a day. That's not going to happen. You know, there's a lot of beads in that design. There's a lot more metallic than I planned on, but it's great. I'm enjoying it, so that's fine. That can take as long as it takes. That's all good. I don't rush things. I do like to get things finished so I can start something new. We all enjoy that, don't we? So I do get a little bit impatient with myself. Oh, I want to finish this already because I've got that I want to start. But it's all good. It takes as long as it takes. It's not a race, and I'm not rushing to finish it. I will continue on my Save the Stitches. That will be a year-long project. I will continue on with my Heaven and Earth design mini bath time. So I hope to finish my September Cottage this month. Well, that will get finished this month. Whether it gets made into an FFO or not remains to be seen. I hope so. So that is on the to-do list. I hope to finish Gilligan's Island. If not, as I said, I've extended that now, so there's no real rush for that. There is an extra week in September, so I hope to, well, I need to pull out my niece's birthday sampler her birth sampler that I started for her. I need to get that finished for her birthday in November, and I would like to start my Joan Elliott advent calendar, and I need to start some Christmas cards. So clearly I need a magic wand. That's what I need. I need a magic wand so that I can not worry about housework and all that other stuff in my life and just stitch. That's the only way I'll get it all done. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, we'll see. I think that's it for this month. Let me check my notes. my notes. I've gone through my RAKs, my finishes, FFOs and whips, project cards, updated information on Millennium framing app, cross-stitch journal app, my stash enhancement and my plans for September. Done. Everything's done. Now I just have to edit it and upload it. So there's another day. It's so time consuming doing these videos, guys. You all know. And I've got a huge mess here now to clean up. Absolutely huge. And it's Father's Day tomorrow, and I'm going to cook my husband a beautiful dinner as well as a beautiful breakfast. And I now have to go to the shops to go and buy all the stuff for that, as well as his present, which I haven't done. I've left it to the last minute. And I was hoping to make Father's Day cards this year. Didn't happen. He's not my dad though, so I think I'll get away with that. So that's it for me today. I would like to thank you all once again for your beautiful, kind, encouraging comments. All of you that like, all of the subscribers, past and new, just everyone in this community. Just thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Everyone on Facebook and Instagram too, don't forget any of you. You're all amazing. You all keep me inspired. You make this so much fun. It's no longer just a hobby. It's an absolute passion for me. My family gets sick of me talking about it, but I know you guys love hearing me talk about it, and that's all that matters. And I'm going to leave it there for today. So take care. Look after one another. Happy stitching. And I will see you all again real soon. Bye for now.